Did you know that the homes are worth 23% less on average of 48,000 per home, amounting to about 156 billion losses in African American neighborhoods compared to white neighborhoods or with a few African American or biracial residents? According to New York Times, the United States home appraisers who work under the codes of ethics but with a minimal amount of regulations and oversight are often what contributes to the accumulation of home equity and the devaluation of African American population. Comparing values of two properties when one is in a white neighborhood, the price tends to skyrocket at about 50% more than a property that is an African American neighborhood. Rochester, New York, for example, has an African American population of 11.5%. According to CNN Business, in this metro area, there is a negative 65% difference between the price of a home in an African American neighborhood and the adjusted rate of an equivalent housing in one of the metro area's white neighborhood, having 53% in loss per home. Although racial discrimination and segregation has decreased throughout centuries and society has evolved, microaggression and discrimination is still present nowadays, causing for the devaluation of homes to significantly decrease for African American homeowners. Being the 21st century, having racial discrimination as well for it to be reflected on the value of properties and neighborhoods where the African American population is predominant and a reflection of how the country is being led, as well as a past instance of racial bias. The economy as well is affected in a majority to the African American population as mortgages increase in price and interest, making it difficult for African American home buyers to purchase a home. African American home buyers purchase less expensive first-time homes with more debt and are less likely to sustain their ownership. There is a substantial disparity in the value of homes by African Americans and white homeowners, and the issue of home devaluation can be significantly more alarming in some cities than others. According to Urban Wire and the panel study of income dynamics, the inflation adjusted average housing wealth at age 60 or 61 for white household was $124,000 compared with $54,000 for African American households. The average first home purchased by African American home buyers is valued at $127,000 compared with $139,000 for white home buyers. The difference in mortgage debt is larger than the difference in the home value. When African American homeowners transition to rental, which can abrogate their future wealth potential. There are a lot of reasons on why homes or properties devaluate. Racism has had an effect on the quality of life of the African American population. The devaluation of black owned homes contributes to the disparity of black families. Racism and the effects that has on African American families. Racism depletes wealth from black homeowners, according to a report by Brookings. Area with the greater devaluation of black neighborhoods and the most segregated and produce less upward mobility for the children growing up in those communities. Currently, racism is a predominant topic and issue in the United States that affects the economy and lifestyle of many black families. There is a strong connection with the devaluation of homes for African Americans home buyers and the owners to the success rate and improvements of the younger generation of African Americans, as economic issues tend to transfer from generation to generation whenever a home is transferred from home buyers within the family. Racism has an effect on the economy, lifestyle, and contributes to the major home devaluation for African Americans and minorities across the United States. The relationship is between racism and devaluation of homes and increase the mortgages and interest for the African American community is a prominent issue that affects the lives of many. With the devaluation of homes, African Americans homeowners and home buyers are less likely to sustain their home and as well as will have a major economical effect. Throughout the years, racial bias has been apparent throughout the United States. Although times have changed, racism is still a problem that many minorities face. Devaluation of homes for the African American population can often result in the transfer of debt within families, not allowing for success or for a better quality of life. Buying a home for some can become a burden and the beginning of an ongoing financial issue.